Hi guys, this is James. I am the designer and developer of the VirusGame that I'm developing. To tell you a little bit about myself, I am a gamer and have always been fascinated by how different games are designed. When I read a book on the Ebola virus a few months ago, I knew I had to play a game on viruses. Being an avid gamer myself, I know there's a lot of games out there on viruses already, but none of them deal with the subject matter the way I wanted to. In a virus game, I want to be able to zoom out to contain the epidemic from a global perspective. At the same time, I also want to be able to zoom in and research for a cure, solving the genetic puzzles of what makes a virus so deadly in the first place. So how could a game incorporate both elements together? And to answer this question, I decided to design one myself. The game is broken up into two phases. First is the Global Command Center, which allows you to look at the virus infection, the epidemic, from a global perspective. Each week, which is represented by a turn in the game, new countries will be infected. For example, if I click on the End Week button here now, you can see each week new countries are infected. And all the countries are color-coded based on its infection status. Green means the infection is light. Yellow means you have a medium infection, and red means a serious infection. If a country in red is infected again, an outbreak would occur. When an outbreak occurs, it's going to spread its infection to all the nearby countries connected to it through the traffic lanes. So if Spain gets infected again, it's going to spread its infection to United Kingdom, France, Nigeria, and Mexico. So how do you fight the epidemic? Well, first, you need lots of money. Money is used to research for a cure, and also to produce antidotes which alleviate the countries of its virus infections in the world. On the top left, you'll be able to see the weekly income and total treasury of the Global Disease Control Center. In order to get more money, you must build research centers in countries. Countries that has its research centers built will contribute weekly income to your organization. For example, if I want to build a research center in Mexico, I click on Mexico and I click on the build button. It's going to cost $100 to build the control center, but once you build it, Mexico will begin to provide weekly income. Different countries in the world provide different amount of income to your organization based on three conditions. First is how wealthy the country is. So for example, United States, UK, and Germany is going to provide more money to you than say South Africa, India, Egypt, or Nigeria. Next is a country's infections. A country that is infected will provide less money to you. So taking UK for example, the base income for UK is $60. However, since the UK is infected by the virus, it's actually yellow, which means a medium infection. It's only going to provide $30 to you per week. The third condition is the traffic lanes. See, each country is connected to another through these dotted lines, which represent the traffic between the two countries. At any time, you can ban the traffic between any two countries to prevent an outbreak spreading from one country to another. In order to ban the traffic, you click on the ban button, and that will allow you to ban or allow the traffic routes between any two countries at any time. To do so, I click on the traffic route between the two countries. And you can see that the traffic from Canada to United Kingdom is now shaped differently. So if a virus outbreak should happen in the UK, it's not going to spread to Canada anymore. and you can actually turn these traffic routes on and off at any time, like what I'm doing here. But please be aware, anytime you turn the traffic route out from a country, it's going to reduce its weekly income. So for the UK, you see the income is now reduced to $22 from its previous level of $30. So think carefully before you ban any traffic. So in order to get as much money as possible, we could just build research centers on all those wealthy countries, right? Not necessarily. You see, there's continent bonus involved. When you build research centers on all the countries in a continent, you get a bonus associated with that continent, and each continent has a different bonus. For example, with the Americas, the continent bonus is called Advanced Technology, which gave you more technology and increase your lab level by 3. And this means that when you research for a cure in the research lab, it's easier for you to solve the virus puzzle game. For Europe, the continent bonus is called Financial Package, and obviously this gives you more income. For Asia, it is Industrial Powerhouse, allowing you to produce more cures. And finally for Africa and the Middle East, the continent bonus is called Shadow Market. This gives you a great discount on all the store items. Finally, let's talk about how to research for a cure, which is the heart of the game. For this one, we'll use Spain as an example, since the country is already heavily infected. Let's try to see if we can research for a cure and develop some antidotes. To begin, you can see Spain has been infected with the type red virus. Now, there are 4 types of viruses in the game, and each type has its own characteristic. The type red virus has the fastest mutation rate. To begin researching for the cure, we click on the country, and then we click on the research button. And this will bring us to the virus screen. In the virus screen, you can look at the virus category, and this is type D, same as type red. And then you can see the symptoms of the virus, and then here you have the danger level of the type D virus. As the game goes on, the danger level of the virus will rise, making the virus puzzle game much harder to solve. And in the center section is the profile of our test subjects. In here we can choose a wide variety of test subjects. Now you can see, if you choose a unhealthy test subjects, it will be much harder to win the puzzle game without the patient dying. But you also get more genetic data, and the more genetic data you have, the more antidotes you can produce in the global command center. Finally, let's click on the develop button to enter into the virus puzzle game. Now, this is the basic layout of the research lab, where you will attempt to solve the virus structure on a molecular level. The most notable feature of the screen is, first you have the virus structure on the left, and you also have the status of your test subject on the right. On the left, you can see these are the virus molecule. The color of the virus molecule matters because each color molecule damages a particular organ in the patient's body. So, for example, an orange molecule will damage the patient's heart, and a purple molecule will damage the patient's muscle. So how do I actually solve the virus structure? Well, each turn or each cycle, I click on this button, which is the genome disk, allowing us to roll the protein balls. And here we can match the color of the protein balls with the color of the virus molecules. Each cycle, we can only match a horizontal or vertical virus molecule chain. You begin with only 5 protein balls, so you're quite weak in the beginning, but over time, with lab upgrades and items you've purchased from the store, you can roll more protein balls, making it easier to solve the virus puzzle. Okay, let's try to solve the virus structure over here now. So here I've rolled a yellow, orange, green, green. So let's look at the virus molecule. Looks like I can only solve the orange and the yellow here. So I click on yellow and orange protein balls to match with the virus molecule to destroy them. Now it looks like the remaining virus molecule chain is quite harder to solve since we can only roll 5 protein balls. This means that it's time for us to buy some equipment to help us solve this difficult combination. To buy equipment, players click on the Store button, and this will bring up a window with these item cards. Each item card will cost a certain amount of research point to purchase. For example, for the military consultant, it costs 3 research points. This card has the effect of giving us 1 additional protein ball. So let's try to purchase this item. Click on the store, click on the item, and the item is now purchased, and it can be accessed in our lab and inventory interface. So let's click on the lab and inventory. You can see the purchase equipment under the inventory list. Let's click on the item and click on use. And now we have 1 additional protein ball to roll when solving the virus puzzle. So let's try our luck again. Okay, it looks like we have a match in blue, green, so we can click on the virus molecule to lock them in first, and roll the remaining 2 molecules to see if we can get a purple and an orange. Okay, we have a orange, let's lock it in, and let's try to roll again. Oh, we are very lucky this time, purple. So this allows us to remove the entire molecule chain over there. Let's try to roll again. Okay, we have a blue, a purple. So it looks like we are left with only 1 orange molecule. Every time you roll protein balls, there's a certain chance that some of the protein balls will go bad. And when the protein balls go bad, it's going to damage the organ of the patient, or it will cause the virus to mutate, making it harder to solve. Since we can only commit to solving 1 virus molecule chain per cycle, we are out of luck this turn, since we already commit to solving the vertical one. And by the end of the turn, it's going to damage our patient by 1. Now let's click on the reset button to start a new cycle. The virus has become more potent and will do more damage to the body. Destroy the key genetic molecule glowing red to lower the threat. So it means that from now on, our virus is going to do more damage to the patient unless we get rid of the orange molecule here first. Now, looks like the situation is pretty dire. We probably need to buy another item to help us roll more protein balls. So let's click on the store button again. Now every turn, every cycle, you are only offered a limited amount of item cards. If you are not satisfied with the current offering, you can shuffle the store, but you have to spend 1 research point. So this is what the symbol means over here. So let's click on the shuffle button. Okay, it's not really the one we want. You can see there's a huge variety of item cards you can purchase. Some item cards allow you to heal the patient, while others allow you to prevent a virus mutation or a damage to the patient. Let's try to shuffle again. Okay, so we even have this allowing us to roll more of a particular protein type. It's not really what we need. Let's keep on rolling. Okay, this is the one we want. Gain an additional protein this turn. Okay, let's close it now. Let's try to use the item. And now we have 6 protein balls again. Let's roll. Okay, so we have orange, we also have a purple and a blue, which we can lock them. Now all we need is to roll one more orange here. Oh yes, here we go. Orange. So now we've successfully removed all the 4 molecule chain. Now all it's left is 2, an orange and a purple. It should be pretty simple. Roll. We have a purple and an orange. Yes. Now before I solve this puzzle, I want to bring your attention to the patient status on the right. Please note how the heart organ is damaged. If all the 5 organs dies, you will lose the test subject and you would have to start again solving the virus puzzle. And every time you solve it, it's procedurally generated, so you'll face a different puzzle the next time. You can also see that the organs are connected to each other in a very unique way. When the health of an organ is depleted, if it receives more damage, it's going to pass on that damage to all the connected organs. So the more connections an organ has, the more vulnerable it is to damages incurred by the virus. The patient profile you choose at the start of will determine the starting health point of the organs and how they are connected. So anyway, let's get back to solving the virus structure. Let's click on the orange. Okay, so congratulations, you have successfully developed the antidote for the blight virus after 5 cycles. So we have acquired a 41 kilobyte of virus data. The better job you did while solving the virus, the more virus data you acquire. Now we are back at the global command center page. Here we can now manufacture the cure. To manufacture the cure, click on the arrow down here. And here you can see we can actually produce 4 units of cure. Okay, so that's not enough production capacity. The number of cure you can manufacture depends on several factors. First is simply if you have enough money to do so. Now you can see that it requires $200 to manufacture 4 units of cure. It also depends on if you have the factory capacity. Our current factory capacity is at 300, and each unit of cure will cost 74 factory capacity. This number is determined by how much virus data you actually obtained during the research lab phase. The more virus data you obtained, the less factory capacity a unit of cure is going to take up. So this means that the more cures you can produce in your factory. You can increase your factory capacity at any time by clicking on this button. To increase a factory capacity by 50. Now we are not going to do so. Let's try to produce 4 units of cures and see what happens. Apply cure. Click on a country to decrease infection or contribute toward developing the ultimate cure. So now we have several options. All the countries infected with virus type D will be highlighted in green. And you can allocate the cure you just produced to the country to lower its infections instantly by 1. Let's try that now. If we click on Spain, you can see that previously it was glowing red and now it's glowing yellow, meaning that its infection has gone from severe to medium. Let's try again with UK. It's yellow, and after we allocate a unit of cure, it's now green. So we've successfully alleviated the epidemic for UK and Spain. So what else can we do? In order to win the game, you must develop the ultimate cure for all 4 types of the virus. And this is done by contributing the cure we just manufactured to the ultimate cure section over here. Each type of virus has a test tube in the ultimate cure section. You can now see that virus type D, the test tube is now highlighted, meaning we can allocate the cure to it. we can click on the test tube to fill it up. And when you completely fill up a test tube for a virus, you will have discovered the ultimate cure for that type of virus. There is only one way to win the game, and that is to develop the ultimate cure for all 4 types of viruses. However, there are also many ways to lose the game. The first way to lose the game is if the global determination, represented by the blue fist icon here, goes to 0. Every time you have a viral outbreak, the global determination will go down by 1. If this number here drops to 0, you die. The second way you can lose the game is if any of the virus type count drops to 0, you also lose the game. Basically, it means that too many people have become infected by the virus. The third way you can lose is if after 48 weeks have passed and you still haven't contributed enough to the ultimate cure, you also lose the game. Finally, the fourth way you can lose is if the danger level of any virus type has gone above 30. When that happens, it means that a super virus has been created. So remember, there's only one way to win and 4 ways to lose. Finally, I want to talk a little bit about the game's storyline, which will be triggered as time goes on. So, besides fighting the epidemic on a global scale and the virus itself in the lab environment, you will also discover the origin of the blight virus and uncover sinister plot that threatens the entire world. Your performance throughout the game will influence the development of the game's story. In fact, there are 5 different endings to the game. So each time you play the game, the way the epidemic spread and the virus mutates are random. Coupled with the constant decision making and the multiple endings to the story, I can guarantee you that each game will be different. So that's it guys. I'm glad that you take the time to look at my video for the game. For more information, please go to my website where you can download a manual and read more details about the game. I'm really eager to know what you think of the game, including the design, mechanics, and gameplay. So please do let me know if you have any feedback or questions. I also welcome you to join the mailing list so you can receive important updates on the game's development. As mentioned before, the game is only on Excel so far, so I'll still need to hire a programmer and a graphic designer to help me bring this game to mobile devices. So thank you again for watching the video. Until next time, cheers!